Somerset closed in on a top 4 spot in the South Division after winning an exciting NatWest T20 Blast game against local rivals Gloucestershire in front of a packed house in Taunton, where the home side took the game by just 7 runs thanks to a fine finish with the ball from both Dirk Nannes and Alfonso Thomas. On a glorious evening in the West Country, Michael Klinger won the toss and put the home side into bat. With no Marcus Trescothick in the side, Craig Kieswetter opened up with Nick Compton, and both batsmen hit early sixes off David Payne to give the home side just the start they wanted in what was a must-win game for both teams. The opening pair ran well, and by the time Compton had registered the 3rd maximum of the innings, this time planting Graham McCarter over long off, Somerset had taken the score to 47 without loss after just 5 overs. So far this season, the crowds in Taunton have been entertained by Kieswetter, who more often than not has got Somerset off to a flyer, but it was Compton this time who was doing the entertaining. By the time the power play was over, Somerset had got themselves into a good position on 60 without loss, with both batsmen still going well. That was until at the start of the 9th over, Compton, who would have surprised many with his stroke play, went for 1 shot too many and missed time one out to Ian Cobain off the bowling of Benny Howell. Compton had to go for 46, made off 31 balls, made out of an opening partnership of 69. By the halfway stage of the innings, Somerset had reached 86 for 1, but Peter Trigo also found Cobain in the deep off Howell after making just 5. The 100 was up at the end of the 12th over, with South African international Colin Ingram proving what an excellent replacement he was for Alvaro Peterson. He launched Jack Taylor over cow corner for the home side's 4th 6 of the innings, and the 5th and Ingram's 2nd soon followed at the start of the 14th over, Will Gidman this time feeling the full force of the left-hander's power. Gidman got his revenge later in the over though, Ingram this time finding Payne in the deep to leave Somerset on 121 for 3 with 6 overs to go. Ingram went for a quick-fire 24 made from 15 balls. Somerset had the potential to get a big total, but they were set back by losing a couple more wickets in the next 2 overs. Kieswetter was the next to be caught in the deep, this time off McCarter. Cobain with the catch again to get shot of the keeper for a 35-ball 39. Then in the next over, Craig Macheda was stumped by Adam Rouse off the bowling of Tom Smith, with a total on 127 for 5 in over number 16. Another wicket fell in the next over, but only after James Hildreth deposited Payne into the crowd for another 6. Then 3 balls later, Craig Overton offered Hamish Marshall a catch to leave with his side on 137 for 6 with 3 overs remaining. 4 wickets had fallen for 16 runs. Hildreth was then stumped to make it 5 for 20 runs, and Somerset looked as if they'd lost their way, but new man Tim Grunewald rode his luck a bit with a couple of 4s off Payne. The former Derbyshire player then followed those up with 2 more lovely straight driven 4s in the final over off Taylor to take Somerset to a score of 175. Grunewald was out to the last ball of the innings when Thomas tried to steal a run and left him stranded, but he'd done his job and got his side into a decent position after all, with 30 crucial runs coming off the last 2 overs. The visitors now needed a good start then, and Alex Skidman and Michael Klinger did just that by taking 28 runs off the opening 3 overs with some good clean hitting. Klinger took a liking to fellow Australian Nannes in the 4th over, and he planted the bowler just over the ropes for the visitors' first maximum of the night. 14 runs came off the over. The 50 was brought up in just the 5th over, and by the end of the power play, these 2 openers were on track with a run rate of more than 10 by taking their side to 64 without loss. Somerset were trying everything to break this troublesome stand, but Gidman was a man on a mission. He smashed Macheda into the crowd to take the total to 88 in just the 9th over. But crucially, Macheda did finally break through 2 balls later with a much needed wicket. Klinger finding Compton in the deep to go for 35 off 26 balls to end the opening partnership on 89. But by the halfway stage, the visitors were still looking good, and a 4 from Cobain off Macheda brought up their 100, leaving them 73 to win with 9 overs to go and with 9 wickets intact. Gidman hadn't had the best of times in the field, dropping 2 and falling foul of a few jeers from the home supporters, but he made an excellent 50 off 37 balls with 5 fours and 1 maximum included. But in the next over, with Nanes changing ends, the former Gloucestershire captain was trapped in front and had to leave with the score on 115 for 2 with 7.5 overs remaining. Gidman had made an excellent 55 from just 39 balls. Indeed, Gloucestershire had played some good cricket shots and the boundaries kept coming at just the right time for them. With 5 overs to go, they now needed just 43 more runs. But with the final ball of the 16th over, Thomas had Marshall caught, and in the next one, Ingram pulled off a stunning catch to earn Grunewald his first wicket for the club. Cobain departed for 29 and left with his side needing 28 off the final 3 overs. That was taken down to 19 off the last 2, and a brilliant over from Nanes cost only 5 runs, and for the first time in a while, Somerset were the favourites. It meant that 14 were required off the last over, and a cheeky reverse paddle from Howell gave Gloucestershire the ideal start to it. But the next 2 balls both went for singles, and then Howell tried to repeat his shot, but missed, and Thomas cleaned him up. Gloucestershire were left with 8 to get from 2 balls. The next was a dot, and Thomas followed that up with a wicket with the final ball. Rouse skying one out to Ingram to give the bowler his 3rd wicket and Somerset their 2nd win on the bounce. Thomas finished with match-winning figures of 3 for 34 off his 4 overs, as Gloucestershire ended on 168 for 6. So that gave Somerset a win by just 7 runs to complete the double in this season's competition over the neighbours. With just 3 matches remaining, Somerset are now in 5th place in the South Group, with their game at the Oval on Thursday against Surrey now a huge match. Surrey are 1 place above them, having played 1 game fewer.